Hey gamers, welcome back to Deus Ex Human Revolution. This is the final part, Panchea. This is, I believe, part number 17. I do apologize, but for some reason I've been having some technical difficulties with my video editing software. I kind of had to use a secondary software, so I haven't been able to put in all my transitions and my opening cinematic and all that stuff. So until I get that fixed up, you kind of just have to. I do apologize for any little glitches or kind of poor cuts on my part. It kind of had to make do with what I could have. Anyway, though, this is the last part of the game. This first part I kind of speed through it because there's really no enemies to fight. That electrified floor section, if you just upgrade your suit, as you saw me doing there, you can upgrade yourself. You should have enough practice kits at this point so that you can walk through the water without getting electrocuted. So just go ahead and spend that, and then make your way through. I'm sure that most people who are watching these videos have at least played the game once, so they kind of know their way around and how to get through this section. And like I said, there's no enemies in this first part. There's really only one alarm that you have to make sure you shut off. So it's actually not too difficult a section. I was a little surprised by that, and also a little disappointed considering that this is the last level of the game, that it's actually not as difficult as I expected it to be. But I also want to use this opportunity to thank everyone for watching my videos. I hope that they've been helpful. I hope that they've provided an alternate means of getting through the game. Our total kill count is still 0, but also the total number of people that we've had to knock out. If you elected to save Malik, as I did, then the total number of people that we knocked out was only 11, because the one who was, what's his face, Zeke Sanders was the first one, and then the 10 guards that we had to knock out to save Malik brings us total to 11, which is I think that's pretty good considering how many total enemies there are in the game. So I was pretty proud of that myself. But again, I hope that it's helped you guys get the achievements, and it's been really fun for me to kind of to do this walkthrough and play through the game on this difficulty. Normally, I'm not the type of guy to play every game on the hardest difficulty setting and challenge myself. But for some reason, I just really had so much fun with this game that I wanted to try and give it a shot and get this achievement. I thought it would be really fun, and it really was. It was definitely one of my favorite experiences this year. And a little bit later, I'll kind of talk more about why I think that is. But anyway, this is the hudo section. Just kind of read what he's saying. Make sure you save before it, so that if it doesn't work out, because he can, even if you pick the same responses, he can offer different. Even if you pick the same choices, he can give a different response based on what he's saying. So just it shouldn't be too difficult though. I think it's just at this point you've kind of done enough of these that you should be aware of how to do it. So just go through that section. Also, but like I was saying before, I really want to thank everyone for all their reviews, all their comments, all their feedback. I really do appreciate it, and it gives me a lot of motivation to keep doing playthroughs and walkthroughs and all this stuff. And hopefully, I'll definitely, when the time comes, I'll try and add another game to the list, and we'll have a good time doing that as well. So once you kind of talk to hudo and get through that section, what you want to do is you want to kind of walk back. But now that you are walking back, you're going to see that all these enemies are here. Now, the thing is, even though they are acting a little bit crazy and they're having all these hallucinations, they still follow a set pattern, which means that you can still ignore them. They still have a cone of vision. You can still walk right by them. So wait for that guard that you saw back there. Just walk by. And as soon as he walks by, you can just make your way into this mess hall. And once you make your way into the mess hall, you can basically ignore all the enemies on the other side. Just go ahead and through the door and head through the elevator. No one should spot you. And even if they do spot you, remember these guards, all these people here are kind of going crazy and they're hallucinating. So they're not going to set off any real alarms. The only way you can set off an alarm in this level is if you get caught by any security cameras. And there's really not many instances where you're going to have that happen. So it makes getting the ghost and smooth operator bonus. Sorry, not the ghost. The smooth operator bonus in this area pretty easy. Now I do have to say that in the final part, I'll show you an area where I don't get the ghost bonus, and I'll tell you exactly why I don't get that. But you'll see that in a little bit. So once you come back to this section that we've been to before, you actually are going to get use your practice points and get another upgrade. And the upgrade you're going to get this time is for your legs, where it's going to allow you to jump higher. And the reason you want to use that is because you're actually it'll help you kind of sneak by all the enemies on the other side, and you're just going to hop up on these crates, and then you can cross this beam, this kind of mechanical crane. I'm not sure what it does, but anyway, you can use this to kind of cross to the other side without any difficulty. Now, if you look on the left side, there's going to be a rocket launcher there. You really don't need it because the final boss is the easiest boss in the game, and I'll show you exactly why that is. And you need nothing more than one bullet from your stun gun, and or stun dart, really. So that's the only thing you'll ever need, and I'll show you exactly why that is. But anyway, just keep heading down, and you're going to head down the ladder, and there's going to be a little bit of a wait because there's going to be a guard, and you won't see him on the screen, but you can see him on, or I think you can see him on the screen, but he's basically facing towards you, so you want to wait for him to face away. And then you still want to wait because he's actually going to turn around, and then once he turns back, that's when you're going to go ahead and pass through, and then you're just going to pass through the broken glass and head on into the next section. So this next area that we're going to go to, we're actually going to take a slight detour, and we're going to do this to go into the limb clinic and buy practice kit. This is totally optional. You really don't have to do this, but I had enough credits at this point, and I just figured, what the hell, just in case. Who knows? I thought I would need it, but as it turns out, I really didn't need it anyway. So you're just going to go ahead, and if you want to do that, you can. But again, like I said, at this point, you really don't need any more. You really don't need to upgrade any more points into or any more kits. So after this, you're just going to go ahead and instead of walking through, you're actually going to jump over here, and this is a really nice way to kind of avoid all the enemies on the lower section. Now, make sure you do crawl, because if you kind of walk through, they can't hear your footsteps. So try and crawl your way through. Now, there are two optional side missions that you can do where you can choose to rescue David, Seraph, and Taggart. If you played the game once already and you've already unlocked that, obviously you can skip that. I kind of did it just for the hell of doing it again. I'm not going to show you how to do that. I would actually recommend you skip that because those areas, they do have security cameras, they do have enemies that can spot you, and it actually makes the game much more difficult for you, so you really don't want to do that. So instead, just kind of head through, and then you're just going to jump down. Now, hopefully, you should have the Icarus upgrade, so then that should land you safely, and then you're just going to kind of jump up on this side ledge. And again, be careful, because if the enemies, they can still spot you, so just kind of slowly make your way through. And then once you do, again, like you see, I kind of alarmed one of the guards, but that's okay, or one of the enemies. But anyway, you're just going to, if you're careful enough, you should be able to walk right by them. Now, past that elevator, you're just going to go straight ahead. You can take that elevator down to rescue Taggart, but like I said, I would actually recommend avoiding that. So just make your way through. And this is actually the last section right before we get to the boss. Last group of enemies, actually. There is one thing you need to do on the side, and I'll show you exactly what you need to do, because you're going to need to disable a turret. And the way you get to that turret is you actually are going to go through this vent cover right here. Now, there is going to be some poisonous gas here, but again, we got the upgrade so that we're immune to that, so it shouldn't be a problem. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to hack into the security terminal, and once you do, you can disable the turret. Now, if you wanted to, and if the first time played through the game, if you chose to, and this is what I did, was I just kind of set that turret to attack all the enemies, so that kind of cleared that room out really effectively. But obviously, if you're trying to get the Pacifist achievement, that's not what you want to try and do. So just go ahead and disable the turret, and make sure it's disabled, and then just head on back. Alright, now this next section, this is the part where I do get spotted, but at this point, like I said, there's no alarms here, so they're not going to set off any alarms and affect your ability to get the Pacifist achievement, but I am going to show you how to get as far as I possibly could get without alerting any of the guards. So you're actually going to use the side railings to your advantage. So once that guard turns around, you're going to go ahead and you're going to make your way to the right side. And if you go to the right side, you can actually drop down right here, and then you can just kind of crawl your way through to the other side. Now, once you do, I think I actually wait for this guy to turn back around and make his way through. I think I could have just walked by if I wanted to, but just to play on the safe side. So wait for him to pass by, and then you're going to go ahead and then take the left side. And you're going to wait for this guy to kind of turn around a little bit, and then you're going to drop down, and you're just going to walk by, and after that, you're going to go ahead, wait for that guard to come back, who comes back, wait for him to turn around as well. And the reason you kind of want to avoid these guards is not because they're going to attack you, but just because by pure numbers, well, they will attack you, but even though they don't shoot you, they do attack you. So there you go. You see right there, a guard somehow spotted me, goes hostile, so there's really nothing I could do about it. So I just figured, fuck it, let's just make a break for it. So that's exactly what I try and do. Yeah, I really couldn't figure out a way to kind of get that through that last section without them spotting me, so... But if you make it to that last part, it should be pretty easy to kind of make it through that area without spotting any of the guards. And again, like I said, it's not going to affect your ability to get any of the achievements. I still got the achievements at the end of the game, so it shouldn't be a problem. So then just take the elevator down, and that's it. I mean, there's really nothing else to this area. You're just going to head on down and then make your way to the final boss. So, yeah, I mean, I think now that we've reached the end, I really want to say that I think Deus Ex Human Revolution is a flawed game. It has issues with it that I took, but I will say that it is one of my favorite gaming experiences of 2011. Just recently, I played and finished. I got the Platinum trophy for Batman Arkham City, and while I really did like that game, it felt very derivative. Not really derivative. It felt very iterative of the previous game, and it didn't give me the same kind of satisfaction that the original game did, simply because it felt so similar to the original. I have a feeling that, Uncharted 3, when that comes out, it's going to be the same thing. Modern Warfare, Battlefield, all these games are very iterative of their past cycles. And while the experience may be better, I think the impact has been lessened quite a bit. It was a very interesting discussion on the Bombcast when they were talking about Uncharted 3 and Batman, and they were kind of echoing a lot of what I was saying as well about how the impact had kind of lessened from these games. But that's one of the reasons why I really like Deus Ex, is because despite having a lot of flaws, it still is an experience unlike any other. So real quick, what you're going to do, so this is the final boss fight, and what you want to do here is you're going to go to this security terminal right here and just type in 2012. If you do, you're able to deactivate those security turrets. Make sure they don't spot you as you make your way down. But then once you deactivate them, you're actually just going to head on up. And again, remember, we augmented our legs, so we were able to jump higher. So you're just going to jump to this top section right here. And I swear to God, all you do is you just sit here and wait for the enemy shields to go down. So you're just going to, they're going to electrify the floors at random times. There's a security drone that kind of walks around. But you literally just sit here and wait for the shield to come down. So I kind of skip ahead because otherwise you just see me sitting there for like 3 minutes watching the shield go down. But there you see, it's just like keeps on electrifying, alternating, and then if you look on the right side, you see that shield kind of going crazy and then shutting off on its own. And then once it shuts off, that's it. I mean, you just make sure you avoid the security bot, but then you just go up to her and you fire a stun gun, and that's it. The final boss fight is over. It's a very, very disappointing boss fight. They could have done. I mean, all of the boss fights in general were very disappointing. It's a slight taint to otherwise what is a fantastic game, but I still think the ending is great because of the final cutscene. For me was really, really worth it. So that's it. I mean, once you defeat that, you kind of have this section right here where Eliza Kassan talks about, if you save the other two people, you can have these different options. Yada yada. I go for the fourth option, which I sink the facility and bury the truth, or let the truth be out there and let people decide or whatever. It's a really cool ending, and I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and I'll play that ending so you guys can watch that, and also so you can see the credits where you can see me getting all the necessary achievements. But that's it, guys. I think that's going to do it for Deus Ex Human Revolution. I want to thank you, everyone, for watching this video. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed. I hope these videos helped. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, any tips that you'd like to offer as well, please feel free to comment. I mean, to me, that's more important than the views I get or the number of likes I get. I really don't care about that. Even if 20 or 30 people see my videos, that to me is a great thing. As long as someone gets some kind of help out of it, to me, that's a job well done. So. What I do care about more is, everyone kind of communicating and talking with each other and and discussing and telling me, ways that I can improve or maybe other games that they would like to see me do. But other than that, I want to thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.
The world will be left with questions and may never reach a consensus. Are you sure this is your choice? We have little time left, Adam. And might I say, it has been a pleasure.
Do I trust mankind to save itself? That's what Eliza was asking. The truth is, I don't know. After everything I've seen, all the fighting and the chaos around me, I only know what I want to believe. Somehow, human decency will triumph. These past few months, I've faced many life-threatening situations. I could have given up many times, but my need to know the truth, to uncover the secrets that others were hiding, and to survive, forced me to keep on going. Most of the time, I tried to keep my values in mind, knowing my actions did not have to harm others. I held on to my humanity, resisting the urge to abuse power or resources in order to meet my goals. And in the end, I got the job done. But does this mean I have the right to choose for everyone? No. Because it isn't up to me. It isn't up to Darrow, Sarif, or Taggart either. Ordinary men and women will have to decide together what course mankind should take. The kind of people who time and time again have picked and chosen the future in highly practical ways, slowing change when it's negative, speeding it up when it's good. Can they do it again? I don't know. But I do know I'm not about to let anyone in this station, myself included, stand in their way.